goes well, wonderful. If it doesn't, there's always a trial and error. So, so the whole idea is that we collectively brainstorm and discuss about how OnPassive is going to impact the healthcare industry. And I think we have a lot of experience. I think 34 experience years of experience in the healthcare industry. So you can actually, rather than me or any other co-host, I think you will be able to give a better input. So, so there is no right or wrong answer, or what you can maybe whatever you can think creatively. Uh, Everything is open. So let's start today's webinar with uh, Dr. Shasmita Jain. Uh, Madam, you can unmute yourself and you can introduce yourself and let us know about yourself.
Yes, thank you. Good evening to all of you, all OnPassivians, all Leadership Council members, core team members, all audience all over the world, and hello India. I am Dr. Shasmita, working as a general practitioner in the healthcare industry since 28 years. Now I have 4 members in my family who are in the medical profession. I myself, then my husband, and my elder son. He is pursuing the oral and maxillofacial surgery mastery. Then younger son is completing soon MBBS degree in Maharashtra. Other than healthcare and medical profession, I am working in many fields. As health is not merely include the diseases and treatment. The definition of the health itself consists of all the diversities, and they are, if we think, when we are healthy, according to WHO, that is World Health Organization, definition of health itself suggests that a person is in good health with his or her physical, mental, emotional, social, and spiritual well-being. Then it is considered as health. So likewise, I am also working in all faculties. Like I'm working in Indian yoga, spirituality, science, and trainer. Especially the worldwide NGO, that is Art of Living. I am working with that since 18 years, and I am also working as psychological counselor and social worker in our place. As my hobby, I learned classical Bharatanatyam, that is a classical Indian dance form, and also can sing a little bit. This is about my introduction, sir.
Thank you very much. I think in your whole family you have a doctor background. So, can you tell me where exactly are you practicing? Which part of India? Or
Yes,
can you just give us a location? What is the background there? Or so?
yes. I am staying in Maharashtra state in India, Satara district, and taluka is Vai taluka. Uh, we are living in the somewhat rural place. It is rural place, and we are tackling many of patients and many problems here. But I think I have the practice for it. So by on passive, I will also do well.
Can you just tell us something about maybe the healthcare structure in your city or taluka?
There are rural area. It is rural area,
Okay.
and we are tackling many patients over here. But nowadays, it's quite techno savvy, so we can go for it by on passive.
Right. When you say techno savvy, can you elaborate on that?
Uh, Somewhat there are classes for the computer, and all nowadays everybody is using mobile, uh,
Okay.
Android phone. So they are techno savvy, quite techno savvy, and all English medium schools are giving the same knowledge. And nowadays, during pandemic period, all the students are now techno savvy. So it will be better to use the applications.
Okay. And when did you join On Passive?
I have joined On Passive on 26 January 2021. As my
Right.
friend Mamata Kulkarni is there. She is always the host for these our webinars. She had advised me for this, but I was not ready to join first. After that, 3-4 months, I had searched for artificial intelligence. What is it? Then digital marketing. How we can how we can get income from this source. I have studied lot. Then during the pandemic period, I have gone through the lectures and our webinars also. Then especially I have means I joined online lectures. There were the free seminars for the AI and digital technology. And then I have idea. Then during the pandemic period, I have gone through these lectures. That is digital technology, how it works, its benefits, how the marketing strategy will be, the professional marketing, affiliate marketing, domain name, what is traffic, then website traffic, search engine, keywords, algorithms. These words were very new for me that time, but I have studied a lot. Then once I had joined the webinar of Mr. Gawande, Anup Gawande, then I had got interest in it, and then I paid for the registration on 26 January 2021. Then
Okay.
afterwards, what happened? I had also spoken many times in these webinars. First, Dr. Mamta has had invited me for Women's Special Dil Ki Baat. The very first session was there, and like today also, you gave me the chance for first session. I was not having this idea because I thought that I am the last member for today's webinar, but suddenly you have invited me. And afterwards, in seminars, webinars, Amarchand Shalat, they are taking webinars, and Mr. Ajay Sharma has invited also me for that. And in that lectures, I had mean, I taught about traditional marketing and uh, digital marketing, the difference between that.
Okay. So
This
I
I
just
have
want.
in the on this.
Okay. And can you tell me something about the impact that on have, or rather before that, have you gone through the tools of On Passive?
Yes, little bit. I had didn't use much the tools because I could not access that code, so
Okay.
I didn't used
Okay.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So personally, like, what do you think? How the On Passive tools is going to impact the healthcare industry? Considering you talked about the challenges that you have in your, yeah, in your rural area. So considering those challenges, how do you think On Passive is actually going to solve the problems?
Yeah, if I relate it with my field, um, COVID-19. First of all, I will say in simple words, I can say being in on passive founder, we are having double source of income. That is one active income and passive income. By this pandemic, we all came to know that passive income is very important thing. Hmm. COVID-19 crisis has pushed the healthcare industry to skeptical of IT innovations, to actively adopt the modern technology. All health professionals, hospitals should be ready to face organizational and technological challenges now. For example, all healthcare providers can be trained with AI, uh, artificial intelligence algorithms, and to plan training programs for the hospital personnel and to confidently work with the intelligent machines. Doctors can save time, rather they are very busy with their schedule, but by using our applications, doctors can save the time for AI powered workflow optimization. Then caregivers can stop worrying about administrative tasks, and they can dedicate their time for the patients. Today administration of the hospital is very huge task, sir. So artificial intelligence will not replace the doctors, but AI powered robotic instruments helps them to work more precisely and delicate motions. For example, in every task from patient's entry to the discharge of the patients up to the follow up also. If we relate with our on passive applications, I can say with the chatbots, patient can discuss their health issues and request privately to the doctor. Then they also can book the appointments with their physician. Patient can access 24 by 7 medical support. Then round the clock patient's condition is can be monitored. Then quick answers can be provided about illness and medications also. Prescriptions, prescriptions of correct medicine, then its correct dosages, increase quality of care by preventing health risk. It can helpful for that. Then O staff can be used for the whole administration and management of the hospital. Artificial intelligence setups helps to navigate medical records with voice commands, then clinical data. It will be recorded during patient's visit. It will be there will be the free time for doctors from manually entering appointment data into system. Then doctors and all health providers can make quicker and more informed decisions about operational tasks. Then the quality of care will be improved as doctors can be concentrate solely on their patients. Then patients with critical condition can receive timely care due to prioritization and requests and automated to discharge. Then monitorization of the patient's health parameters like blood pressure, sugar and all, weight, body weight, etc. And medication intake, and it will prevent of worsening of the chronic conditions of the patients. Then there are also many things. 1 minute. For example, I can say Molly. Molly is the multifunctional virtual nurse is there. So it can be AI can helpful like that. Then for doctors, for diagnosis, we can have automated images like MRI, CT scan. It can be helpful. It would be accurate. For example, in COVID-19 infection, the images can provide us 96% accuracy. If we say recent COVID-19, it will show us 96% accuracy in that. Then O Academy, we can say the educational system is transformed, totally transformed now. Education through digital platform, it will give opportunity to access learning sources to a global platforms for the teachers or well experienced doctors, as well as now new student doctors also. And lastly, I would say the point to be remember is that however reliable AI technology is, but it is not the replacement for the human eye. It will not replace the doctors. Hence, we as human should adopt the modern technology and transformation with our traditional things. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. what exactly, what tools do you want to use of on passive? Like, have you decided in mind? Okay, I want to use this. I want to teach maybe something about medical, or do something about that. So, have you thought in your mind? Okay, these tools are fantastic. I know. You specifically said that you have not gone through the tools that much, but you also mentioned about Academy and other things. So I just wanted to ask you, have you thought about something that you plan to do in future using the on-passive tools?
Yeah, I'm thirsty about knowledge, so I can join O Academy, and the whole global platform is open for me for that. So I will grasp the knowledge from where I can get.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Sashmita, for your time. And I'm sure whatever you are dreaming right now, I'm sure all your dreams will actually be completed. So just enjoy the journey in on passive, and you will achieve all your dreams. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Uh, any of the leaders want to ask maybe questions, or can we move ahead to the next person? Gusminder?
Yeah, Neeraj. So thank you to Dr. Shmita, I think, and she has a very good knowledge also. But let me say one thing, that in context of India, if we can see that, I think Dr. Bill and Dan State, they might not know that India, in general, if we say, no doubt, it's a huge country with a huge population. So what because being lived in India for so long, and when I see the difference between Indian medical structure and here in Canada or America, US, and it's a totally different, because in India, one thing which is good for India is that no, with such a great population, so it was very difficult for governments to manage such a huge population for all these medical needs. And when I see systems over here, and here a lot of things are like centralized, like on governments, and not a private kind of thing. Very less we can say over here in Canada and the US. But in India, one thing good is that our private doctors, they are practicing a lot. I think they are outnumbering this government hospitals or clinics, we can say. So they are catering the needs of this huge population. And I must say that they just get their medications right on their doorsteps, if we can say. We have so many private clinics in India, here and there, which actually are doing great things. Now, when I see on passive catering Indian needs, I think all the doctors in India should use on passive in near future, because it has a great potential in India as automation, and if we can say Academy, or artificial intelligence, or certain managing the things with all these things, their day-to-day operations, where on passive is going to come into that, and that would help this population, huge population of India, I think. So I think the doctors, and more and more doctors, I think should come to on passive, learn the things, study on passive, how it's going to benefit everybody. Because once the medical system of a country is okay, the people are healthy, people get their medications time to time, nation as a whole can prosper, can develop more this thing. So I think on passive has a big role to play in field of doctors, if I can say, in India, Neeraj. Yeah.
Thank you, Gusminder. And thank you once again, Dr. Shasmita. So we'll move on to our next participant. We'll move on to the neighboring country, that is Pakistan. We have Mr. Yasir. So Yasir, go ahead, unmute yourself, and uh, let us know your introduction.
Hello everyone. Thank you so much that for giving me chance to speak among all the stars from all over the world. Especially thank you so much Neeraj sir, Dylan sir and others. My name is Yasir. Belong to definitely as you introduced that I belong to Pakistan. By profession, I'm doing a business about nursing services. We are providing home nursing services. It's about 1916. A nurse who accidentally uh, care a patient just because there was something like a war or circumstances that in the hospital there was no room, no space that if they can uh, treat the patients inside the hospital. But one of the staff, she started to treat patients outside the hospital, and there the word got you can say what you can say that like just like a platform that there is a no a place if you can treat your patient in the hospital. In fact, you can treat your patient out of the hospital. So here a word start to give services just like home nursing services. For me, I'm providing services since last 8 years here in my country, and we are operational all over the country. So about definitely it is a very good profession itself. In fact, we need so many human resource for provide the services and to accommodate the patients at home. Especially, I just want to say one thing that even we are a human, the basic foundation of our services is to care. Especially if a parent they care their children so much. In fact, children care their parents so much. So in the elderly age, when the children when the family they cannot care their patients, just like stroke patients, they become paralyzed from a side. They cannot move. They cannot definitely move like a normal person. So they need an attendant, a nurse, a doctor. So the purpose of our services is that we can accommodate a patient in their home. As services such like we provide in the hospital. So we have adopt the concept. If someone need a doctor, so we send the doctor at the home, and a doctor diagnose what is actually condition, what is actually problem with the patient, and then he prescribe, and after that we send a nurse so for administration the medicine. But there's a part of our services. We have a lot of what you can say that full-time services provider, and for 12 or for 8 or for just a short visit. So we are providing this kind of services.
Okay, and I suppose the trend about working from home or the because of pandemic, I think uh, the business that you are in has also accelerated. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
In the pandemic, in fact, it was a very big task for us. Personally, I have attended over 1,000 patients in the pandemic just because of, and I work more than 22 hours a day to attend a patient because there was no space in the hospital, and people start to treat their patient at home. So we have a very short staff definitely in our country. So we just covered ourselves with a PPE kit for personal protection, and it will take approximately 45 minutes for a patient to administrate medicine. Like a person who just got a test about PCR, and he found that he is a victim of a COVID patient. So the pulmonologist prescribe something. Sir, can you hear?
Go ahead. Yes, sir. We are able to hear you.
Can you hear, sir? Oh, I found that I stuck with my screen. So I was saying about we would try our best, and the most important thing, definitely it was a very dangerous disease. People have lost their beloved. People have lost their life in this pandemic. So thank God that we have a good team here, and during the medication, it will take 45 minutes, as I said before. So we just start to educate patient that it's not a big deal and you are going to be fine. And it takes 10 to 15 days, and gradually the patient start to improve himself, herself. So I'm very glad that I have such a field, I have such a profession in my life, because I just want to talk about on passive, and the mission of on passive is it's about humanity. So this is the biggest reason why I joined on passive, because our company's mission is also about humanity, to lift the humanity, and to care about the people, and to make them strong, definitely professional, financially, and they can support their family. So I'm also excited about the on passive products, because it is very helpful for me, for my business, for my profession. Just like when we send staff to the patient's premises, we need some criteria, like we have to follow, we have to chart about patient chart, like what patient eat in the morning, about the breakfast, and about the medications. We need to make its record for when the patient going to visit the doctor. We have to show its last week or last 10 days or last 2 or 3 days, that what was his sugar level, his blood pressure level, what he was taking, what he was or she was about patient, about the medicine. So I'm excited about O staff and about O Connect, because in the pandemic people just resist that they do not visit the doctors physically. So just talk to the doctor through WhatsApp and online, just like you can say. So we have also like a very good product that which can be personally support me. So I personally believe that on passive is made for me. So I'm very happy about this.
And Yasir, when did you join on passive? Approximate.
Sir, it is about September 2000.
Okay, right. And in the future, what do you want to do? Like, do you have? Yeah, definitely serving humanity. It definitely everybody wants to do that. But like, have you planned of maybe using any specific tools that are available uh, uh, for serving your patients? Oh, I think so. I think you got disconnected, right? So
Yeah,
you're back.
I
Not
apologize, sir, for this.
not a problem. I was just asking you that any particular tools of on passive that you're very much interested, and how do you think? Yes, the humanity part is always there, which is different from the other companies. Uh, but any specific tools that you feel that it will impact the healthcare industry, and which you are very passionate to use in the near future?
Sir, personally, I have a dream that definitely unemployment is problem of every country. So I want to make training center, a skill development institute, where we can educate at least some people who are willing to give services. So just like if we need to handle a patient who is a stroke patient, we just need to push him up and to help him, just like a companion, to give him medicine for oral medication, about hygiene care, and to take bath, to change the cloth. So for this purpose, we don't need so many highly qualified people, so much highly skilled people. So a person who is willing, who is humble, who want to care. So we just want to give that kind of people to educate. So definitely O Academy is very helpful for us. There will be a lot of material. By using that material, we can educate our staff, uh, our team. Definitely a person who is going to care a patient. So definitely, and all staff, it will be much helpful for us, because not about all criteria. Just one thing, where we face a lot of challenges when we have more than 100 calls a day that we have to send a person. We have to send our staff for a home visit for a medication, and it take about 15 to 20 minutes. Just a patient, our staff goes and he administered IV medication, which is from intravenous. So our staff need to insert a cannula and then administer it. So it is for me personally, for me and for my company, for my staff, it become a very challenging to supervise that our staff, where he is going. We have to visit more than 100 different location with different people. So I hope all staff can help us a lot in this case, because we have our staff goes, we need to send a receipt. Definitely, the client pay us payment through internet banking and cash. So for the official record, for the official matters, a complete solution. So I personally believe all staff can help us a lot in this case, sir.
Thank you very much, Yasir. Like, anybody want to add something to it, or comment anything about it, or shall we move to the next participant? Okay. So now we have Dan Street from US. So Dan, the stage is yours.
Okay. Well, thanks, Niraj, for inviting me today. I think I have a little bit different perspective than some of you, because I'm not a qualified doctor or anything like that, but I have been in the medical industry for the last 30 years. And I'm coming to you from Colorado in the USA, and my level of expertise is a little bit different. As I mentioned, I was in the medical device industry as a manufacturer's representative and a vendor. And we provided the instrumentation and the implants for joint replacement surgery and bone grafts and traumas and everything you need to put somebody back together if they've broken a bone. That's basically, I was a bone guy. So my responsibilities included, first of all, it was developing relationships with the surgeons in my territory, which is Colorado, and selling them on the features and benefits of the products that I wanted them to use in their surgery. And once they agreed, and I had a lot of surgeons that were using my product, and once they agreed to use my products, my role switched. And I became a consultant in the operating room in surgery to the scrub tech. And the scrub tech is the person that hands the doctor the instruments during the course of the surgery. And it included we're working directly with them and the surgeon through the procedure. So the other thing I would do was I'd identify and I would recruit surgeon champions. Now, surgeon champions are key surgeons that do high volume that would promote our products to their peers and help us expand our business. And this could be done through a small dinner, a meeting, or it could be done through national meetings. We have here in the United States a thing called the Academy for Orthopedic Surgeons, and we as vendors and manufacturers, we will have a booth and we'll display all of our products. And that could be bone grafts, that could be plates and screws and total knee replacements, shoulder replacements, ankle replacements, hip replacements. All of those products are displayed, and we talk to surgeons from all over the world about how they work and how ours is better than the other. Okay, so that can be done. And what I've noticed is over the last several years that a lot of these orthopedic surgeons are becoming employees of the hospital. So this provides them, the hospital really provides them with a salary, an office, a staff. They promote their business for them, and that helps them develop a reputation. But I can guarantee you that each one of these facilities want to save money. And if they can save money, these are big contracts that they have with these doctors. They're paying them a lot of money, and they're looking for all kinds of ways to save money. So of course, my brain starts thinking about OnPassive in that. But there's also many doctors, and these are the ones that I have the key relationships with that, like Gersmender was saying, there's a lot of private practice people in India. And well, there's a lot of private practice guys that are independent here in the United States too. And they maintain that independence, and they assume all the overhead costs to promote their practice. And they have to pay all their staff. They have to pay everything associated with promoting their practice and their patients. So I can see OnPassive's role big with these guys, because they can. I look at just OSTAF in general. That would help them reduce the costs of their human resource. Obviously, we know all those products, and many of these doctors have tremendous overhead, and that would be huge for them, and it would save them a lot of time if they could reduce their costs with the HR area. So also many of these doctors, I started thinking about how many of these doctors that I had relationships with are teachers. And Dr. Bill would probably know about that. He's a teacher. He loves to teach. He loves to share the information that he knows about his clinicals, and a lot of the orthopedic surgeons have different ways of doing it. Not all of them agree on the best way to perform a surgery, like a total hip or a total knee. They don't all agree. So they can share their clinical studies, their patient outcomes with each other. And a lot of them are looking for some kind of a format where they could really teach. Well, there's Ocademy. Oh my gosh. These guys, my mind just starts going crazy with all of the different ways that they could use Ocademy to teach their peers and teach other people as well. So OnPassive has created a lot of tools for the medical profession, but not only for the medical profession, but for all businesses. And I think it'll change the way businesses organize their businesses. And I guarantee you that once a few of these doctors start changing the way they do their business with OnPassive, it'll have a viral effect. Now, as far as what I would do right now with these doctors that I have relationships with, I think what I'd do is I'd just give them the vision. I'd show them the vision of what is coming, what is available out there, what is going to be available for them to help them. And I think staying in touch with them, and as OnPassive just explodes here very soon, it can change their life, and it can help them reduce their costs and just change their practice. So that's all I have for right now, Niraj, if that helps.
Thank you, Dan. And also, initially you mentioned about that you were selling devices, right? To that. So, like, if you were doing that even today, do you think that our we have a software, the CRM software, Odesk, would that be useful for you, the
Oh,
CRM?
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All of the products would be useful. I mean, we could go through each one of them. You could go through O'Counting. You could go through Obless. These guys, a lot of these guys travel all over the world to perform surgeries for free. But they develop these organizations to promote to generate funds. And Obless would be huge for that. Again, I think that we have just begun to just give them an overall picture of what OnPassive is all about, and how it's going to change the way they do business is key. Not identifying each individual product, because we haven't got them all yet. And I don't know if I think in the future, and very soon, we're going to be able to present those products to them, and we're going to. But right now, it's the vision of OnPassive. It's everything that Ash has developed. When Ash's quote the other day, it keeps ringing in my ears. It was, when you create something that's never been done before, you can expect results that have never been seen. And that's so true. And I think that Ash has created something, and Ash has a vision, and has created a company that is going to change many lives. And a lot of those are going to be in the healthcare industry.
Thank you. And can you tell us something about, because this is the first time you're actually interacting with the Indian audience, maybe could you talk something about your journey with OnPassive? Because I think it has 3+ years, yeah?
Oh, yeah. I got started with, you all know Marty DeGarmo and Mike Ellis. We started all together in March of 2019. And we started promoting OnPassive. We just looked at it, and we believed. I think that's we believed in the company, and we started building a team, and then it just got the value of OnPassive. You could just see the value of OnPassive increasing day by day by day. And after years of failing in other businesses, network marketing businesses, of course, we're so grateful to find OnPassive. And like I said, we've witnessed the growth of OnPassive, and the value of OnPassive increase beyond our wildest dreams. And we're very close to seeing this dream of Ash Mufareh launched to the world. And so I'm very excited about this company, and the news that we got the other day, Ash's webinars, and it just keeps getting better and better and better. And we're all excited. I know everybody here that's a founder is extremely excited about this coming to fruition very soon.
Thank you very much, Dan. Vispender, you want to talk to Dan or ask anything to Dan, or shall we move ahead, or any other leads?
Yeah, you can carry on, Neeraj. No problem. Yes, definitely. Dan and Marty and Mike Ellis, they are doing such a great job. The moment they joined, I know they started their work immediately, and I still remember one of their interaction with Mr. Ash in I think it's May or June 2019, before the actual get started, and that discussion was very, very interesting. And I remember that Ash was speaking, and all these guys were just listening and listening and listening. That was very interesting thing for not for these for Dan or his team, but for entire world. We have listened that discussion the vision of Ash, the things which he has planned for all of us. No doubt that the vision has gone like thousands and thousand times more into that. And as Ash has just mentioned in last webinar, that we are just about to explode. We have grown in such a way that when I see last 3.5 years when we joined Neeraj, okay, and it's such a huge journey, huge amount of people coming into it, all the knowledgeable people, the knowledge. And here is OnPassive is giving to society actually before it's even launched. And this is the best part of OnPassive, that we are learning from each other. Look at today's webinar. We are learning from doctors. What are their ideas? We are learning from teachers. We are learning from other. OnPassive has just begun to explode in such a manner that I see that in next 2 years, 3 years, like Ash always said, that OnPassive will be everywhere. So I definitely see the future of OnPassive, where we are heading into it, and definitely we are going to like a blast of this thing. We are always excited, everybody. And so carry on, Neeraj. We are doing great.
Thank you very much.
Let me interject one more thing. Niraj brought up a great point about how the company has just exploded worldwide. I mean, keep in mind we're in 215 countries, and one of the things that's just blown me away is how many people I have met from all these different countries, and the relationships I've developed with people from all over the world. And we're talking to them on Zooms, and to see these people develop as leaders throughout OnPassive, and you look at all of the different skills that people have, it's amazing. It's amazing the people that we're meeting and developing and nurturing relationships with. And that's one of the biggest keys. And Ash talked about it the other day. He said, we're going to change humanity. I mean, we are looking at a company where people from Papua New Guinea and poor people from Africa and India and United States and all over the world can make a living and make a good living, and get out of poverty. And there's going to be so many things within OBless in the medical community and in all other communities where we're going to be able to help individuals worldwide and bless them worldwide. And that's probably the most exciting thing about this business to me.
Yes, definitely, Dan. And like just to go way back earlier, like I still remember the date, 20th August 2020. You may not remember it, but I remember that date because there was a webinar Ash had taken in OnPassive Nation, and the webinar was, what does a perfect business look like? And those points are still fresh with me, and I hope I wish I had that knowledge way back earlier, wherever I failed. So so thank you once again, Dan, and
thank you for inviting me. Yeah,
welcome, Dan. So let's move to our next participant, and Dr. Bill Williams, we are reserving you as the dessert. So I'm just inviting Mr. LD Bhagat, and then you will be the sweet dish. So Mr. LD Bhagat, all yours. Dr. LD Bhagat.
Thank you, Mr. Ajay. Very good evening and very good morning to all the participants here and the leaders. I am Dr. LD Bhagat from Jammu and Kashmir, Jammu, the city of temples. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, but there seems to be disturbance on the background.
Yes, there is some function running on the back side of the source, so there will be slight disturbance.
Okay, not problem. Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, I thank God to be in this organization, And thank you and our global leaders also to inviting me to this platform today. As I earlier told that I am Dr. L.D. Bhagat. I am from medical profession and served in the Jammu and Kashmir Health Services from the post of medical officer in 1987 and retired last year in December in the cadre of the Deputy Director in J&K Health Services at performing my in different levels. During my service, I had a mission to serve the humanity after my retirement. And I had planned for this to create finance because you cannot serve without finances. And for that, I started in part-time with some material marketing and learned how to generate more income and extra finances to create a service to humanity. There I earned some money, but the financial freedom which is told everywhere in every businesses, wherever you go in multi-level marketing, but very few people reach that stage when they get the this royalty income or passive income. So when I returned, after my retirement, I was planning to see some other business where there is much more potential to generate the money. And luckily, I was introduced by my friend to this opportunity. And on day one, when I saw the opportunity, because having the knowledge of multi-level marketing and the business models, I had some knowledge that how better a company can be. And when I got the information about the artificial intelligence and the surplus and unlimited potential of the internet, where there is a unlimited income anyone can generate by his knowledge or by using the knowledge of somebody else. So that was the potential that attracted me to this opportunity. And I thought this is the opportunity from which I can make my future plans to serve the humanity. And I immediately decided to get registered on June 26, 2021. And for the last 7 months, I have been learning because I am not a technical person. I served as an administrator in the J&K Health Services. But technologically, I have to learn. And for that reason, for the last 7 months, I am learning technology, learning about this business, learning about the products which are in this business that can be utilized by me and by my team to generate the money for themselves or for the humanity. And definitely the products which are being made by this company and those are available that we are testing in beta testing are marvelous products, and those are the unique products that will give benefit to the whole humanity, all businesses, all departments, whether government or private, and similarly to medical departments also, because the medical department is the one that is #1 service to the humanity, and we are lucky to be associated with this department and serving in this department. But there are different difficulties in different places, different countries and different regions. And if I talk of Jammu and Kashmir, this is a very tough state, very remote areas, inaccessible areas. There are very minimal facilities from our medical department. And if I talk of the department in the cities, so there are good facilities, but as we compare the private and government sector, there are differences. We have a lot to do still because the private departments are providing better services, and so our doctors who are overburdened and are in very stress because they get very little the salaries and have a lot to do, and for that they are under very stress, and they prefer to go to the private hospital and private practice, because in Jammu and Kashmir we had earlier very little private institutions for the treatment, but now they are growing up as in other parts of the country. And so in Jammu and Kashmir we have a lot to do by the administrators also, by the government also, and by the doctors also themselves. For that we have to create a very different type of environment where doctors can be in the good condition to work, they should be having paid as a proper salary so that they can give their best potential, and they should not be stressed when they are going to work. But that will take a long time. But here, this is not a stage to discuss those things, but I am just telling you about just the situation of Jammu and the as I am this benefit different departments, and in that to the health department also, and in particularly the products we are to use in our medical department here, particularly the combination of Zoom, Ocademy, and HRM, both for clinicians and also administrators. If I talk about the clinicians, as the cost of living is growing, everybody needs more money. And for that, the doctors go for private practice. And if they are financially free, if they get a chance to be a founder in this company, or later they do this business by some means from their family, they have if they have the sufficient finances, they will not have to take worry about their finances, and they can focus properly in their job and give a better care to the patients. Number one is that they can get a financial freedom from this if they become founders, and if they are financially free, they can work more freely. Then there can be help technologically, because this business is advanced technology and based on artificial intelligence, and there will be definitely newer instruments, new technology instruments helping for the procedures in diagnostics or in treatment, and there will be definitely a better supervision and monitoring for the administrators by HRM, that is human resource management system, that is or staff, the one product that will be used by the all hospitals, whether government or private hospital, just to keep the proper record, proper training, and keeping the data. And all these products in continuation and mixing, there will be giant use for they are interdependent. Ocademy for advanced technology, for new trainings, and updating the knowledge and skills of the doctors and paramedicals, because doctors only if updated, they need to be assisted by the paramedicals. Therefore, the paramedicals also are equally to be trained by the new technologies and updated by the new knowledge. And for that, Zoom we are using at present, because I have the experience of first pandemic of the COVID, when I was posted for a provincial hospital that was full-fledged hospital working normally, but was converted to a full-fledged COVID hospital. And I was given the responsibility to make that a COVID hospital, and I managed for 1 year with all our referral patients from the Jammu province. And for 1 year, in the beginning, we had very difficulty in managing this, but the training system that was provided by Zoom platform, that was very helpful for providing us the training and the updated knowledge to the staff and doctors, because every day there was a new regime, every day there was a new instruction. By that time, we train the staff in one regime. Next day we come another, and for the Zoom was main source for our better performances those days. But as we know that Zoom also has its limitations, but this company is producing OConnect. That OConnect is having marvelous features. It is a unique product, and then training the staff and doctor, updating the knowledge, and that will be a better service to the patient. There will be a patient and doctor relation. There will be a better doctor-doctor relation, and by that, if there is a better environment, every doctor will perform better. and we can give the better services to the humanity. And that is the ultimate motto of every doctor and every health professional. And by this business, this is not only a business, but this is a mission to serve better, to give better to the humanity. And in whatever field we apply these products, that is giving help to all the departments, all the sections of the society, wherever we serve, we can take benefit of these products, because there is not on one or two products. There are multiple products, and they are different departments that will be using, different businesses that will be using these products and giving benefits in their own field. And similarly, medical profession also will be giving definitely a very good help to the society by these products.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dr. LD Bhagat. You actually, I didn't have to ask you any questions. You actually answered everything in all. So, sorry.
You can ask anything. You can ask anything to be added more.
Yeah. No, you actually answered all the questions that. What tools are you interested? So you talked about the academy and other things. You are basically, the whole purpose is using those tools and to serve humanity. So you talked about that. So fantastic, Mr. LD Bhagat, and I'm sure, you will be able to help a lot of help the healthcare industry, and definitely we would be helping humanity. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. LD Bhagat. So, yeah, go ahead.
Having mission of just a minute. Yeah, because I am having the mission of the same mission as CEO Ms. Ash Mafari is having to serve the humanity, and I am planning to make a hospital that will be giving free services to the humanity, and that will be best source for those people who cannot afford the costly medicines or equipments or some treatments. And for that I am working, and there are so many people like me, even touching 12 lakh founders. All are having the same mission, all are having the same thoughts, and they are not, nobody in this organization is talking about him that I will buy a car and do this and that. Every person, whether he is a rich or poor at this time, he is having the same mentality. He is at the same mental level as CEO Mr. Ash Mafari. And for this organization, this will be the best organization of the world in serving the humanity, and is becoming the eighth wonder of the world, definitely, if we say. And for this, I am thankful to God and thankful to Mr. Ash Mafari and Mr. Dr. Bill Williams, who is a guest here today, and Mr. Dilom, Jesse sir, all the leaders of this system, host, co-host, and you, Mr. Dalvi, thank you all. Thank you, and thanks to all.
Thank you, Mr. Once again, Mr. Dr. LD Bhagat. And I'm sure your dreams will be completed very soon, and I'm sure you will have an hospital to treat patients free of charge. So don't worry. India is actually with you. The whole India is not only India. I would say the whole on-passive community is with you. So, we have. Yeah. So.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So, if any of the leaders want to say anything, or otherwise, we'll move to the next participant. Okay. So, Bill Williams, all yours.
Thank you, Niraj. Good to be here with everyone. Good to see all my friends from all around the world, particularly in India today, Pakistan, and hopefully there's 2,000 other people listening in, watching, who are founders and are excited to be here as we kind of discuss disruptive technology that impacts healthcare. It's good to see, Niraj, that you had a mixed panel of healthcare professionals. That's a brilliant approach on your part. I thought that Dr. Shamita Jain had a clear vision of how this will be implemented into practice, how it can be put together for daily use. I thought that her presentation was clear and impactful. Yes, sir. You know, your home healthcare service industry is vital, and it does so much to replace and reduce the cost of hospitalization costs. So I think you have a good plan to educate healthcare workers to expand your capacity to help more people. So that's vital. And I think that's the future of healthcare is home health delivery, because we know that going into the hospital has a burden of cost that cannot be sustained. Dan, manufacturer's rep is a key part of any doctor's practice. I rely on my orthopedic friends to come in and help me the same way with dental implants. And I do some pretty 6-hour surgeries sometimes that are pretty hairy, where we're putting in 8 or 10 implants in the jaw and building a set of teeth on those in a single day. So it's called the all-on-4, all-on-6 technique. And without my manufacturer's rep, I could not do it. So a vital part of the team. And you spoke about doctors champions. I like that. And it's getting the key opinion leader, the KOL, to be on your team. And that makes a huge difference. And I think OnPassive could take a lesson from that. And we could search out key opinion leaders in industries to move our product. You know, the influencers, if they join your business, will make a big difference in your bottom line. As you know, if you have a key opinion leader, they have a lot of followers. And so we want to seek out key opinion leaders as part of our quest to bring in founders for the last couple of weeks, months. If you can find a key opinion leader, it's going to bless your business. It'll bless that key opinion leader even more. So that's important. Dr. Daggett, your concept of financial needs solutions, I really agree with that. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. My main point today is going to be understanding how you can serve people better. And I think the doctors, particularly in some countries, need a better support system financially. This is the answer, I believe. And so your understanding of the products, everybody understands the products as far as we have been able to understand them, and realizing that we are in the initial phase of the pre-launch and the products have not been fully shown to us. They're in beta test. A lot of them are just only visible as far as what we know from the OnPassive website and the features and benefit list that are there. And so only after we start using them, the beta tests are finished, will we actually understand the magnitude of what we have in our hands. But listen, this is important, and I think it's important to bring it out among medical professionals particularly, but it really, it's the same with all the different industries, not just medicine. Healthcare verticals are specific, and they are products in the software industry that are mature. So we're going to go up against a lot of mature products in the beginning. OnPassive is a new kid on the block, and we are basically a generic software product right now. Each product will be good, but it's not a vertically integrated product with each industry. And so we're going to be competing with people that have sophisticated vertical products, and we're going to come in with something that is not integrated into their specific industry yet. And so we're behind the 8 ball. We cannot get in front of the 8 ball until we've actually put our products to work generically in general business before we can go vertically up into the more defined businesses, like being working in a dental practice. We have specific software that only dentists would use. Nobody else in the world would even use it. And so I think there's an open door here that I'm identifying for the specialist consultant. if you're somebody who wants to take on an on-passive ecosystem and help adapt it to a vertical industry, you will have a very large audience. You'll have a lot of business to attend to if that's what your goal is. If you want to be somebody who will integrate OnPassive's ecosystem, the vast ecosystem, to meet a specific industry, like dentistry, like medicine, like chiropractic, the automotive industry, the banking industry, et cetera. So that's just a future look at what's going to happen in the future about the need. Now we interface with the Dr. Norris Shah and the medical teaching model. His Universal School of Health was identified quite nicely a couple of weeks ago. And his Global Summits Institute has been going on in various parts of it for probably 10 years. And he's expanded it from dentistry and just oral surgery training to all of dentistry, then to medicine, to chiropractic, to pharmacy. And you know how that was explained on that webinar with Ash and Dr. Shah. Well, the whole idea is it's bringing everything under one roof and eliminating the middleman. And that's kind of what we're doing in OnPassive, is we're eliminating a lot of the fluff and we're going straight from the producer to the end user. And that's our goal, is to eliminate a lot of the middleman to take the profit out. And we're going to share it with the people that are more like you and I. So there's really two areas of impact that I wanted to discuss. And a lot of this has already been talked about by our panelists, and I'm not going to go over what they said. So one way is the founder and the income model. And then the second is the customer use of the tools. All of us founders would become customers, of course. And so everything we've talked about as far as tools goes is as a customer. We talked about there's 50 useful tools that will be bringing costs down. So there's an impact of high value, and Ash is mostly wanting us to promote high value in lowering cost and saving time. So the time savings using an integrated system, once it's set up, you know, the setup should be a lot easier, and that would allow more people into the process. I know as an instructor and as a software developer, I used to have to study and learn how these things work before I could put them together. And it would take me hours, days, weeks sometimes to put things together to have a system that I could then use to teach. And so with all these things that Ash is putting together, it's going to save all that time, and it allows more people to enter the process. The difficulty of doing some of these systems is what kept a lot of people out of the business. Dan, you know that was half the job, is nobody could put all these funnels together that worked. And that's something we always found out. So connected with AI, with machine learning, with the speed of the activity of business today, you'll be able to increase the growth just through those tools. Now, the one thing that didn't get talked about too much was scalability. When you decrease the cost to the doctor, that's a good thing. He can spend less money, less time putting things together. But what about the increased profits of teaching online to hundreds of people, thousands of people? Well, that's going to be the thing that Ocademy and OConnect will do, is give us scalability. And if you can drive the number of people taking a course up, you can also drive the cost of taking the course down. The instructor still comes out very well, but the end user comes out with higher value. And so it's going to reverberate throughout the world that we reduce cost and increase profits for the producers. We reduce costs for the end user, we increase profits for the producer of the content. And the middleman that used to take all the profit away, he will not be getting it. It'll be us that is getting a fair profit based on what Ash has done with his compensation plan for us. So that's the one point. all about the tools and the customer's use. But let's go back to the founders. And we only have about, what, a month or two? We don't know exactly, but we're going to have a certain length of time that Ash is going to give us to still bring founders in. So I want to speak to that rare opportunity that exists until that time. I want to give you a prescription that I've been teaching for about a year to various doctors, and it can apply to any business. It's an income model that makes a lot of sense if you want to implement it to do the same thing that Ash has done. And so take, for instance, we have a position in OnPassive, one position, and that's an income center for us personally. Well, what about the scenario of a medical or dental office where you have a team of staff and you have patients? Isn't that analogous to OnPassive having a founder group, kind of like the owners, the partners, and then you have the team, which is the Hyderabad team, the engineers and all, they're the staff, the team, and then you have the customers, the patients. Well, in a medical practice, my vision is that you could have 3 positions that you purchase from OnPassive, and you dedicate one to the practice, to the owner, to the person that is in charge, that put the practice together, who's responsible for the practice, the doctor, in most cases. You could dedicate one to the team. The team could be paid bonuses, and you could help pay overhead through that one OnPassive position. And so my thought is you only give those team members part of that share in the bonus if they're loyal, if they pass the test of being on time, dedicated, positive, et cetera, et cetera. So you have a reward system that is generated through OnPassive income, and they only get to keep it as a staff member if they meet the test. Very motivational for good behavior, wouldn't you say? And then finally, a position for the patients. And this is where OBLESS comes in. You could dedicate that the income coming in from that position through the charitable organizations and charitable distribution channel called OBLESS could actually go to pay for patients' treatments, even in your office. I mean, you would be able to have a scenario where OBLESS pays the normal fee and the patient doesn't have to pay anything, so that the practice doesn't lose money and they could treat as many charitable patients as they wished. So you could set the limit, or you could have no limit. You could have it any way you want it because you're the one in charge. But if you had 3 positions to have an income center generated toward those goals, then you have a lot more ability to not have the dollar dictate who gets seen. You could have no problem with having staff who are the best paid staff in the area, so you don't lose them. That's one of the things that I've always had is I've had the highest paid staff, the most loyal staff, and they don't leave to go somewhere else for money. They don't leave because the perks are better, the work environment's better. In our practice, we worked harder than anybody else, and we played harder than anybody else. And I made sure that I took them on a nice trip every year to reward them for excellence and service and loyalty. And so I think OnPassive could be the reward system that could make a difference between a good practice, a good business, and a great business. So we want to go from good to great. And having the resources behind us that OnPassive could give us is just another opportunity. And that's kind of the basics of what I wanted to cover, Niraj, that disruptive technology has a bottom line, and it can lead us to do things that we never thought we could do. And all the tools that we'll have, yeah, we'll integrate them. We'll figure out how to use them in medicine, but it'll take some time, and we shouldn't be discouraged about the fact that they don't seem as good as the vertically integrated processes we already use today, because give us a couple of years and they'll be just as integrated as in any business model that we have. So thanks for the time, and I'll answer any of your questions, Niraj, that I didn't cover.
Thank you, Bill Williams, for giving a new idea to it, which we never thought. So yeah, I love the idea about having multiple accounts and then arranging it for treatment and the stuff that you talked about. That was a new concept, and definitely, you also said that you have a couple of doctors who would love to talk. So are they available right now? So we could add them.
If you see them, they definitely they're founders. I don't know if they're here or not. You have to look for them. Dr. Brad Hester and Dr. Dharmesh Prabhu. I don't know if they're on or not.
I think they can raise their hand. Then I think we can find them out.
If they show up, then raise your hand, Brad or Dharmesh.
I think Dharmesh, I don't see. What was the first one?
Brad Hester.
Brad, BRAD. No, I don't.
Yeah, they were seeing patients today, so I don't know that they were able to get on at the specific minute.
Right. So, like I had written, like I was having, as this is a brainstorming session, I want to discuss a few points. It's already the end of session, but I think I wanted to discuss these points, and maybe I want to explore your minds and what you think about it. The first one, one of our product is OPeer. OPeer, we can actually, if you have an hospital, you can have an internal communication within the staff. What do you say about this, people?
OPeer is very much like Slack. I've used that for a few years. It's like WhatsApp. It's instant messaging. It's Teams. It's differentiated between departments. You can send any kind of a document, a video, anything you want to send to a group. You can send it, save it. Very useful. Internal communications. Secure from the outside. That's the key about OPeer, is it's not open to outsiders. So you set up your group and you're able to have instant communication, and you don't lose track of who said what when. It's all recorded. It's all, in a place that's convenient and it's private.
Right. Thank you. We already talked about OStaff. Next was Audit. Audit, where you can actually maybe you want to present something to the new doctors. You have to prepare PowerPoint slides. So I think Audit can help you to create those, right? Those where you can actually have images and all that. Is that right? Do you agree with that? Whether it can be helpful to the medical profession?
Well, Dan, you probably have some insight on this too, but I think Audit is an editing program that will allow us to slice and dice videos and audios and pictures, maybe write on them. I think it's going to be multi-useful. I don't know yet that it's a PowerPoint presentation module. If it is, I'm excited even more about it. Did you know, Dan?
No, I think that, I'm not as familiar with Audit as it would be maybe an OCreate or an OVirtual, where you can create, your slideshows and video presentations. But I think with OCreate, you're going to be able to, you're going to be able to. OVirtual is going to be another one. Network access, and you're going to be able to create presentations. But again. A lot of these, we haven't got all the details on them, so we don't know all the specifics of them. And we just have to kind of, I don't like to say anything that I'm going to stick my foot in my mouth on, I don't know, but I know that OVirtual is going to be one of them that you can, and OCreate and OPost is another one where you're going to be able to, it's more like an autoresponder where you're going to be able to send out blasts and email communications to a lot of the people that you're trying to communicate with, as opposed to just having OMail, which is more for a personal. You can really get after your marketing and communication with the OPost.
I have a question about OLead. Is that, I know that it was Odesk now and it had been talked about OLead. Is OLead going to be a separate product from Odesk?
I'm not sure because I did not see OLead in the those particular options that were there on the website. So we'll have to too early to comment on that.
Yeah.
I think it will be best we talk about, because I just thought that maybe we could explore other products, but I think it is advisable that we actually talk about it when we have more information. Then I think everybody will have a better idea about it. So I think if we have time and if anybody wants to ask any questions, maybe from the panel, or anybody wants to say anything about how they.
1 minute, sir.
Go ahead.
I think OLead, it is the business opportunity to grab the customers. I think so. To catch the leads from the customers, I think. Is it correct?
Yeah, but we already have something called Odesk, which is also relating to that. It is a ticketing system, plus it's also an inbuilt, I think, a marketing system for leads. So we need to actually wait for more details about it. Or they might have just created Odesk only for ticketing, and then maybe created OLead differently. So I have not tested Odesk, so I won't be able to comment more on that.
Thank you, sir.
So anybody else wants to comment or ask any?
Neeraj, Ash has many times, I think, told that he is creating all the products, but whenever it's right time to give all the information to the founders or to the public only, then that information will be given. And in the webinar, I remember that he was like, this is also part of a marketing strategy. So to create a hype of the product and a curiosity of the product. And then when it's actually launched, it's much bigger than what we actually think or what we actually see that project. So I think that's the plan. Even we like from 2, 3, 4 years we are here. We also don't know actually much about our products, but again the curiosity is there, and again the knowledge whatever we are getting is there, and that's what Ash wanted actually, so that it's a part of marketing strategy also. So I think we are going into a right direction. Yeah.
It's very true that we have a marketing strategy of drip, and never lose interest.
Yes.
So do we have time to take some questions from the attendees, or I think there will be too many of hands raised up. So what do you think, leaders? Like, it's already around 1 hour 35 minutes. So just asking you.
Do we have time for our slot, Neeraj? The webinar slot?
Kaushik?
Yes, we can continue. No issue.
Okay.
Okay.
So any of our maybe LC members that have raised that are present, maybe you can bring them first, and if you see anybody or any of the leaders.
Okay, I'm checking. In the meanwhile, if any leaders from the panel want to discuss.
I think Mamta has raised her hand.
Yeah, Mamta, go ahead.
Thanks a lot, Neeraj, for inviting me. And first of all, thank you very much for such a wonderful webinar, and Dr. Bill Williams and all the guests who have participated today have really graced this occasion. Really, I'm thankful to all of them. This is the most demandable field. Today, right now, I would like to focus on the health as a prime factor than any administrative angle. For example, ODesk, OLEAD, OPeer, whatever for the departmental communication, interdepartmental communication. As a doctor, reaching to people is easy to them as a health is a prime sector. Dr. Shashmita madam had communicated to us, and she's a doctor consultant and also a yoga teacher. So the OConnect would be very much helpful to her. Dr. Dan had shared about the instrumentation and a device production industry. AI will help the most with the accuracy. Replacement of the orthopedic departments, he had actually explained it to her in a very nice way. I'm keenly looking for a help in brain surgeries and the probable effects of the surgery in advance. Dr. Bhagat had shared his thoughts for Jammu and Kashmir with the help of the tools and monitoring and helping the diagnosis, updating the doctor's knowledge, assistance of the paramedical resources, and how the tools are to serve better in all respect. It's a mission according to him. Honorable Sir Dr. Bill Williams had talked about the plans, hair care workers, cost reduction in treatments, dental implants, and doctors' needs where the financial support is needed. He said we are generic software production. That was a wonderful aspect he has given to us, especially for the consultant. A very large audience he had talked about as far as OConnect and Academy is concerned. And he has focused and emphasized on everything is under one roof. So no middleman, so the profit can be shared to all. Many people are out of this business, and because of this, no middleman, the doors are open for all. Scalability with OConnect and Academy, he has discussed with us. OBlaze, and nobody will leave a job for money as far as we are looking for the OBlaze. Ultimately, lastly, he said about the disruptive technology as the tools are vertically integrated. Now, I would share from my mind how OnPassive is helping in health sector with the tools. Human intelligence, as we all know that the doctors are the most intelligent people around us. So I am looking this factor as the human intelligence is getting merged with AI. What is the difference between doctors working now and then later with AI? Can we overcome the challenges with OnPassive, and can we more reachable to the all people? My belief is that the patient should never approach doctor with Google knowledge or Google after diagnosis. Now with AI, patients should be more approachable to the nearest doctor help, and follow-up to be taken by doctor with the help of AI. Critical care should reach to the patient immediately. Various gates are open to doctors as follows: as the doctors, as the consultant to for treatments after proper diagnosis; doctors as the resource person to teach the prevention of disease and spreading awareness of health and health hazards in society; doctors as an online consultant; doctors as second opinion; doctors as an educator; and doctors as help to expand the health dreams. I would like to have some answers from these honorable guests.
Now, I've got some thoughts about what you were asking, but I don't know if I know exactly the question that you asked, so you might need to restate the question.
Can you repeat the last part? So he gets
Last part is the things that in my mind, how the doctors are going to merge this human intelligence with AI. What would be the difference between the doctors working right now and the later they are working with AI or with OnPassive's AI support?
AI as a tool is already being used in medicine, and it's a very highly mature process that's already integrated. Let's give you two examples. One is dermatology and one is cardiology. If you take a picture of a skin lesion, you can run it through an AI process of computer, and it will give you a 98% valid answer as to what it is, much more accurate than what a doctor looking at it would normally have. A lot of times it would require biopsy to verify what it is to be 98% accurate. Well, a photograph of a skin lesion can give you that level of accuracy, still backed up by biopsy. But we're moving to the point where you can do a body scan of the skin and diagnose skin lesions and find the ones that are dangerous, take a biopsy and move forward. The same way with the eye. The eye is the mirror to the body, and you can take a picture of the iris and of the interior of the eye, mapping the blood vessels, and you can actually see when heart disease is coming. And this is all done by artificial intelligence, taking a simple picture and then running it through a computer system to give you a prognosis of how long it'll be until you'll have a heart attack, and how you could maybe go on preventive medicine to make it later in life. So these things are already being done in medicine. The question I have is, how will generic artificial intelligence from OnPassive, how will it grow into those kinds of specific uses, or will it ever? Our artificial intelligence right now is going to be like infrastructure to run the practice of business, of marketing. We're not going into the scientific parts of medicine where we're diagnosing yet, but I could foresee in the future that that's an interest that people may have, and that we could become involved in scientific types of things for diagnosis, improved examination techniques in medicine. That would be the ultimate, to be able to pretty much replace most of the hard work that doctors have to do and let them be decision makers rather than ones who gather all the information. Certainly, we could delegate most of this type of work to staff so we could serve more people. So artificial intelligence is basically going to extend the doctor's reach to where they will have less of the, what's not, it's important work, but it can be done by machine and staff. And the doctor can be the ultimate decision maker rather than laying all the bricks and building the building. Dan, you see any other applications?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to add something that, just in this conversation, it's so great because it makes you think of certain things that Ash has talked about over a period of time. And I just remember him saying, he says all the time that we only know, as founders, we only know about 10 to 20% of actually what's going on with OnPassive, the magnitude of OnPassive, the value of OnPassive. So I look at these things and I think of all of the products that we have. We're looking at them individually, but we've got to remember that OnPassive has all of these products, all of these companies that we would have had to go to individually and open up another product, and you can buy it with the click of a button, and it's going to be so fast. You're going to be able to integrate synergistically your different softwares within OnPassive together. You know, and that to me is so amazing when he said how fast, you know, once it's revealed to us exactly what these products are, you know, and how they work synergistically with one another, I think we're going to be totally amazed. And I think the AI part of it is going to blow us away as well, and how quickly it will learn. And you know, just like with you, Dr. Bill, you know, your practice, how much time savings you will have as a direct result of not having to do a lot of these things that OnPassive is going to be able to provide for us. So that's an important point. First of all, Ash is, you can just see him. He's so excited. He's so excited. You can see it. He knows so much more than he can actually tell us right now. And that to me is really thrilling.
I agree with all that.
Thank you,
Thank
Dan.
you, Dr. Williams, and thanks a lot, Dr. Dan, for a wonderful answer. And the last question, as we can connect to the students of the medical through OConnect if they want any online classes or any online learnings. But right now we have a problem in India. I would talk about at least with Maharashtra, and preferably about private medical colleges. The theoretical part is taught very well, but the practical approach is in a danger state. So as far as possible for the practicing as a doctor, if the child do not get the practical approach, then it's a dangerous, alarming situation for everyone. It's because this health industry is related directly to the lives. So right now, Dr. Bill Williams, we're talking about examination techniques. So can our children learn these examination techniques through OConnect? Can AI connect these things with the students, those who are learning from Academy or through OConnect?
It's going to be a bonanza for the medical professional to do continuing education through Academy and OConnect. That's going to be huge. Dr. Kinnor Shah has already tapped into this with free education and reduced cost education around the world. And as we implement our technology, if their group chooses ours, then the language problems become less, and we can teach in maybe 108 languages. So it's going to be much better to teach from English to Hindi, for instance, English to Arabic, for instance, and not have to worry about a translator to do a simultaneous translation. Now, I've spoken to my colleagues in dentistry and medicine all around the world, and I remember sitting in a classroom listening to Japanese speaker, but I had headphones on that spoke to me in English, but it was because a human translator was speaking simultaneous to me through a closed booth situation. Well, wouldn't it be great if artificial intelligence will take that language and translate it live right in front of us? And that's our hope, that Academy and OConnect can do that. Certainly, we know we've got the capability of text translation. And so we wait to see what happens and what Ash brings us through the voice to voice. That would be the ultimate, of course. I think that the cost of education will come down quite a bit when we disseminate the ability to teach in many languages, because it's a scalability issue. We want to reach people in the third world, and you can't charge first world prices to third world people that don't have the same income level. You know, if your standard of living in one country is $1,000 is a good monthly wage, then you can't charge $2,000 for a course. So I think scalability is going to be important, and Academy and OConnect will be primary for that. It's Ash's dream to bring that education to the masses, and I think he's going to do it.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bill Williams. Thanks a lot for your support. Thank you very much. Thanks, Neeraj. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mamata.
Thank you, Mamta. Anybody has any question? Yogiri, Pallavi, and other Mukund?
Neeraj, I would like to ask a simple question, as I have 2 or 3 doctors, those who are dentist doctors. How AI and machine learning is going to help advanced dentistry for doctors?
Yeah, I haven't found anything in the website literature that says specifically how it's going to help dentists, other than the running of the business. I mean, it'll help marketing, it'll help the chatbot, you know, as we get the chat program going, OChat, it'll help with slimming down the question and answer issues. I don't know that it's going to make, from the products we know about right now, it's not going to make the actual practice of dentistry better, but it's going to make running the business of dentistry better. So it won't be attacking the scientific basis of dentistry. It'll be attacking the business solutions of HR, of accounting, of marketing. So that's where we're going to make our dent, because that's more generic business. And I think that's where we really are going to shine. Every dentistry office is a business. First and foremost, you know, in our country, for the most part, dentistry is a small business. One person owns it. They have 5 employees. That's the standard dental practice in America. In a lot of countries, that's exactly how it is, a small business. And there are a growing number of dental service organizations, we call them DSOs, where one entity owns 20, 50, 100,000 practices. But still, the majority of dentists around the world probably work on their own by themselves. And that's a good place for OnPassive to make a big impact, because we will have business systems with OStaff and OCounting and OConnect, Academy that will really speak to their needs, and it'll benefit their pocketbook, much less cost, better value than what's out there. I don't know about you, Dan, but I'm tired of paying $100 a month for my small Zoom account. I don't get much use out of it. Particularly, I don't use it that much, but I still have to have it if I want to use it, and it comes every month. Well,
yeah, and I'm sure Ash is tired of paying $8,000 a month too.
Oh heavens!
Thank you, Bill Williams. Thank you so much. Thank you, Neeraj.
Thank you, Evgeny. Good to see you.
Yeah, I think Pallavi had raised her hand. So do you have a question?
First of all, yes, I have a question. Namaste, everyone. Namaste, Dr. Bill Williams, and your every panelist. Yeah. As of I'm just I'm on a learning stage, and I have being a IT professional, I'm quite just listening all the things, and ultimate I got that artificial intelligence is changing our lives entirely, but still on that part we learned already on a lot on pandemic situation, as well as the OnPassive is giving ultimate which is already told Dr. Bill sir, that the impact of entirely the final is the ultimate is the demand is huge on a artificial intelligence note, and we are right now is a decision making capabilities which is taking in the taking intelligent decision making capabilities which are going with intelligence, and that's the problem solving solution giving we are giving to the entire global citizen and towards the world. And it's in every industry, we are right now talking about medical industry, and it's have a great impact on IT industry also. Right now, as of already told that each sector and each and every sector, the final one is ultimate, the artificial intelligence is assisting us on each and every dot, each and every point of situation. So no, I don't have any questions, but I have the solution, which is actually on passive, and Mr. Ash Mufare, our CEO, is going to giving the entire through us, actually through us, through the founders told that yes, we are on a very stable position, we are on a very stable platform, and of course very really I'm quite being so blessed to be a part of this webinar today. So I'm just learning. Thank you, Dan Street sir, and hello Yasir from Pakistan. Yeah, thank you. And in front of Gujminder sir, I would like to say just when he is there on an Indian webinar, we are learning a lot of things. So just don't have to say anything. And Neeraj sir is there. Absolutely. And Kaushik Pandya and rest of the people, and obviously Mukund sir. Thank you. Thank you, Neeraj sir, for giving me the opportunity to tell something in front of, thank you all.
Okay. So anybody has a question, because it's already around 10 o'clock Indian time, and I think
Neeraj, as Pallavi said that she is learning. In fact, we all are learning actually. Never happened earlier that we were sitting with doctors and discussing so many things. Okay, so this is all the learning process, and we are learning from last 3.5 years. And Ash has always said that yes, he's also learning. And this on passive subject, we can say, is so interesting. And it will always be learning, because Ash is going to introduce many things into it every time. So it's a learning process. We are learning it, where we are more knowledgeable now rather than what we were like 3 years before. So altogether, a very good discussion, Neeraj, very good webinar. And very much. And thank you, Dr. Bill Williams and Dan Street, Yasir, and all other panelists. Really, we are in it to win it. Thank you.
Thank you, Gershman. It's been a pleasure being here. Namaste to everyone, and have a good evening. Dan, good to see you.
Namaste, India.
Thank
Namaste.
you, everybody.
Namaste.
Good night.
Yes, so in this webinar.
Yes, so
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Hope to see you all again, Dr. Bill Williams sir, and Dan sir, and yes, see you too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
yes, thank you for coming, all of you.
so
Yes,
we
so
are
need to
so
win
in
it.
it to win it. I mean,
Yes, definitely.
Definitely. Bye-bye, everyone. Good night.
Bye.
Thank you.